Hi everyone. So we are at our week 2. It's a group case study. In my group, it's me, Nazmul, and with me I have Kerri. So yeah, I'm gonna start the case study. It's about an Australian manager in an American company. So I'm responding to the first question, which is just a second. All right, which is the Hofstede cultural characteristics model. So I'm going to compare the country Bangladesh and United States as per the instruction from the professor. So all the six characteristics I have: power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty, abundance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. So as we can see on the screen, the graph is pretty different both countries. Like as power distance, almost in every aspect, numbers varies a lot. So I'm just gonna describe all those part in next two slide, how this is happening and why this is different for two different countries like Bangladesh and USA. So in the power distance, Bangladesh score really high. It's like 80, which means that the people of Bangladesh accept a hierarchical order in which everybody has a place and which needs no further justification. And on the other hand, USA it's totally kind of opposite. It's really like fairly low on the score of power distance. And the next characteristics in individualism, we can see a huge difference with the Bangladesh as of 20 and USA is really high, 91. It's quite high. So yeah, both the countries is totally opposite, and it's because of the cultural difference and all those things. Third point, masculinity, Bangladesh score 55 on this dimension, and it can be considered as a masculine society in Bangladesh. In masculine countries, people live in order to work. Managers are expected to be decisive and assertive, and that means most of the things it comes from the top. The score of US on masculinity is high, but it's quite similar with Bangladesh, like 55 and 62. And this can be seen in the typical American behavior pattern. Next slide. Yeah, the uncertainty avoidance, Bangladesh score like 60 on this dimension, and those has a high score. Countries exhibiting high uncertainty avoidance maintain rigid codes on belief and behavior, and are intolerant of unorthodox behavior and ideas. So I'll say it's pretty conservative. And the score for the US is below average, which is 46 on this case. So it's still pretty different. Then the long-term orientation, we can see that this dimension describes every society. Okay, every society must maintain some link with its own past while dealing with the challenges of the present and future as well. Bangladesh has an intermediate score at 47, and on the other hand, US scores pretty low, only 26. Indulgence, Bangladesh has a very low indulgence score of 20. This makes it a restrained country as of the definition of indulgence. And whether the United States score 68, and this in combination with a normative score. So those were all the 6 points according to the Great Hofstede's cultural characteristics. Now, in response to the second question of our case study, I'm going to invite Kerri to describe. There you go, Kerri.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I just did a little bit of research, and so the main factors that influence lesbians' lack of success in America, I thought were uncertainty avoidance and the power distance dimensions. So these characteristics, like according to Hofstede, uncertainty avoidance is the extent that members of any society cope with anxiety. The way that a society works copes with anxiety is to minimize the uncertainty as much as possible. So that's how they cope with their anxiety. They want to just make sure that there's no uncertainty in the way that they interact in the culture. And so Hofstede says cultures that score high in uncertainty avoidance prefer rules, like rules such as religion and food. And they also prefer structured circumstances. Um, and employees tend to remain longer with their current employers. So that's according to Thompson. And then in some ways, uncertainty avoidance will influence processes. The most common way processes are affected is by the perception of uncertainty. So understanding the perception of uncertainty is important in all of the cultures involved, from the client side to the evaluator side, the local moderator and the venue. So, for example, if the client accepts little uncertainty, but the venue management accepts a high degree of uncertainty, the client may misunderstand the venue's management attitude towards experience and anxiety. So, and then another example, like I wanted to give for the uncertainty is, so a client from a high uncertainty avoidance culture may expect a project to need more formal documentation and a more structured than a moderator from a low uncertainty avoidance culture, or more um, or more structured than a moderator from a low uncertainty avoidance culture can deliver. So they don't have the ability to make sure that this project has the formal documentation. And also, this may manifest itself in the extent of feedback and the attentiveness to the formal rules and planning and conducting the research. It also is also in principalities such as times and meetings or research sessions in support to start and end, and strictly on time or more or less, and who actually attends the meeting on the research. This dimension can help highlight expectations about the patient's level and security safety levels amongst the project members to avoid anxiety and misunderstandings.
Are we in the right slide?
Yeah, that was just an example. Yep, that was just an example. That wasn't on the slide. So you can go to the next slide though now. And then so going one more. So I just passed that one. And then the other one, so
Mm-hmm.
the other two did not make it on there.
What's that?
So oh wait, you're right. Sorry, it was me. I was on the wrong one. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the other one is power distance. So let me just hold on once again. And so the power distance, this is an important aspect in that it expresses throughout societies. There's always someone who can exert power over another. Everyone is unequal according to this cultural characteristic. The way Hofstede defines power is simple: the ability to influence others' ideas and behavior. This is a simple concept, but it could contribute to the success or failure in another country. So I did a little research, and what Hofstede says about it is he says the fact that everybody is unique implies that we're all unequal. One of the most salient aspects of inequality is the degree of power each person exerts or can exert over other persons. Power being defined as the degree to which a person is able to influence another person's ideas and behavior. This dimension deals with the fact that all individuals in societies are not equal, and it expresses the attitude of culture towards these power inequalities amongst power distance is defined as the extent to which the less powerful members of institutions and organizations within a country expect and accept that power is distributed unequally. It has to do with the fact that society is unequal and is endorsed by followers as much as it is by leaders.
All right.
So those were the two that I thought were like the most important in terms of like Les Collins' lack of success in America.
All right, got it. So yeah, that was the our part. Thank you, everyone. I'm just gonna stop recording.
Okay.